Greetings, loyal listeners from across the galaxy. You may recall from our previous mission log that the crew of the Emerald Star crashed into a conglomerate warehouse and lost their ship in an implosion. With the help of a Model 6 Gargoylian called Argyle, found a strange new ship, the Zaoshan, and its one remaining crew member, Tomoko, captives of the conglomerate, and together all escaped the facility during the chaos of the raid, but were pursued by 3 on-planet patrol ships. And now, Dungeon to the Stars continues.
Alright, well, I'll just hop in the pilot chair and try to steer this bad boy.
I'm gonna make some angry noises, but then relent.
Alright, so maybe at first when you grab the wheel, it is stiff at first, and even growls at you, and then after a second, relinquishes control to let you try whatever you're about to do, so...
I'm gonna aim the ship towards the ruins, and hope that we can do a little canyon chase.
Maybe outmaneuver them around the buildings and stuff.
That is a 20, but not natural.
You can dive back down to the sandstorm towards it. It's easier to move at higher speeds in space than it is on planet. You'll still get there pretty quickly. So you'll dive towards it.
I asked the group what all the pretty colors mean. There's all this green and
lights
red
everywhere.
Things that are twirling. I don't understand anything.
This is a very new experience for you. You've never been on a ship like this before either. Not flying around at least.
I have no idea what's going on, and I asked anyone tell me what to do.
A little sparkly gargoyle appears by Argyle, and it waves to him and beckons him along.
Okay, tiny me, I will join you.
Useful holograms.
It leads Argyle to the free port pachinko cannon, and it eagerly gestures to it.
Oh, a seat.
All right.
Controls.
So I sit down.
There's an amber-colored window in front of you. You can see out of the ship now, the landscape whizzing by.
There's clearly a targeting reticle and some sort of machine apparatus here. Looks similar to firearm.
I am going... Do I see a ship?
You rolled a perception out the window?
9.
Between the colors flashing and the stuff whizzing by, you're just overwhelmed by everything. You see it all, but you don't really know what to make of it. There's a whole lot going on, and it's this is the first time experience for you. A lot of new things going on all at once. Friends, this machine, everything.
So I clap my hands and laugh. That is the end of my turn.
Alright, Argyle's having a good time in that seat. Casablink's being cool. You're there next to Argyle, pretty close to each other.
I'm just gonna fire at these motherfuckers because they're Conglommo scum.
The indicators for the enemy ships are red.
Make it as easy as possible for you guys. Shoot the red things. So roll BAB plus Dex to try and hit them.
I got a natural 20.
Their AC is only 19, so that's gonna hit.
3.
X isn't my strong point. I only get a +1 from that magic weapon. Yeah, unnatural 20.
Alright, and you're on the starboard side.
Got a 6.
The O.P.P, the On-Planet Patrol, are now close enough. They've identified themselves as On-Planet Patrol. They're repeating their warning to you, so that'll keep blaring over the speakers unless Zaoshan cuts it off. They're going to keep repeating warnings to land this ship, return the property, turn yourselves into the law. You're going to be locked away for the rest of your life, or pay heavy fines.
Arguing with the O.P.P entire time.
Arguing back with you. It's AI versus AI, because obviously a computer program is repeating a recorded message, and you're just arguing back with a recorded message. These AI-controlled ships come in super fast. This medium range weapon only requires a reflex save, but I need you to make 3 reflex saves. Whoever is piloting the ship, pretty close range to you guys now, so you just gotta make some quick swerves. So 3 reflex saves that beat 15 is what we need from you.
That's gonna be rough. Natural 1 on the first one. 22 on the second one. And the third is another natural 1.
That just means that 2 of these barb-like metal spiked devices with poles on the end are gonna actually jab through the amber windows and part of the metallic wood-like husk of the ship on the stern of the ship on the rear, right by where that stern-loaded combo energy lance. Before Nicole even gets there, there's now 2 huge thorns clamped onto your nutsack now, basically. 4 piercing damage to you, Zaoshan, making space travel somewhat dangerous until you can rest and heal.
That's fine. There's still 1 free pachinko cannon on the starboard side that I'm going to take control of. I'm going to train it backwards and fire. Alright, that's 26. I did 6 damage.
Nikali, would you like to roll a knowledge local before you finish, as you run towards this stern-loaded combo energy lance?
A 16.
You'll see these O.P.P ships coming close, and you'll recognize them. That was one of the first things you noticed whenever Glomerate took over your planet were these O.P.P. ships. They're very cheap, easy to make, AI controlled, and they just have them fly around and like control the population base. So you're very familiar with these ships. Seeing those barbs that have connected onto the back of the ship, you know those are tracking barbs. You'll be sitting in a seat with like two of them like right by your face. They'll be kind of obstructing your view as you jump into the seat of the stern-loaded combo energy lance. Like I said, it's a little small for you. The controls are a little small for you, because you're a really big guy comparatively.
They do start to adjust, but they can only adjust so much.
Yeah, it's like plant growth, so it's very slow, but you can tell the ship's trying to accommodate you as best it can. It's like trying to stretch, but the seat's all the way like in the full back position, as far back as it can go, you know, and your legs are still kind of cramped. You have your knees up to your chest and stuff.
I'm gonna fucking kill this bastard.
But you're able to get in it this time. They're not close enough for close range yet. Next turn they will be if they come in, but you can go beyond the weapon. So would you like to ready an attack so you get 2 attacks instead of 1 if they come closer? Alright. You ready an attack, if they come in range, you'll get 2 attacks. If you lose these 3, you might be able to get away clean, but if not, they're tracking you and they'll definitely record you if you don't take them out.
Is there another open gun that I could try to shoot, I guess? I would like to run to that one instead and say, Zaoshan, let me try.
Alright, so you grab on that gun and give it a try.
I'm going to say it in Shin Kalahari.
Sure, Zaoshan will let you. You're the one person Zaoshan will let operate any equipment on this ship. You are a warden. Although it's very polite that you do. It's the Shin Kalaharan way, is to be polite. To all living things.
Dang, that's terrible.
It's a miss.
Yeah, it totally is.
I guess I will continue to try to fly towards the ruins to do a little bobbing and weaving, I suppose.
You want to try another fly roll to do some cool maneuvering to like try to outmaneuver them?
Yeah.
Alright, give me a fly roll, see how maneuver we are. How cool of tricks we're doing.
It's a 21.
Which is also nice for Zaoshan, because now Zaoshan can focus on other things that are going on. There's a lot going on. You're flying above average. You're doing really well. You're dipping in and out. This will help you evade them in some way, hopefully.
Well, I've got like multiple extracts left over from the
previous day. Yeah, like, whatever the max amount of your daily allotment is.
So wherever the like equivalent of a USB port is, if I were to pour a cure light wounds into that USB port, could I heal the ship a little bit?
I'll let you administer a cure to the ship if you want. I think it might help if you communicate to the ship what you're trying to do, and it might be able to point you towards a port or open a port for you or something.
I guess I would say, Zaoshan, where do you want me to stick this?
Classic Dr. P.
The taproot right next to your console.
Grasp the root and dump the extract in there because it is important that I have contact with...
because part of what makes it work is the demon magic within you that comes from the demon from your home planet that everyone on your planet is sort of a descendant from. So you have some sort of weird space magic going on inside of you that activates the power within your extracts.
That would be a Cure Light Wounds extract. That makes it 8.
I'm gonna see if I can see target the ship, or a ship. An 18.
That's just barely a miss. So you saw that's like whizzed right by it. Very close shot.
I got a 9. Oh, a 10.
But that's still a miss either way, yeah. That one whizzes by it. They're moving really quickly though, and these ships seem to maneuver much better than the ship you're in now. Like they're flying fast and seem to fly at an average ability at that speed.
Too, right?
They're smaller, easy to maneuver. Probably not as nice to live in as this ship. You couldn't take one of these ships into space and like have a kitchen and living quarters and these ships seem pretty small. Anyone that's dealt with O.P.P. before would know these ships are AI controlled, and the only seating they have inside is either for officers or prisoners.
Are we farther into space yet?
We're going back towards land.
Well, I mean, honestly, I might just pray for a while, because I don't think... My dex is garbage, and I don't think I'll make another hit. So I think I'll just...
pray. Just do your religious zealot thing and get some prayer on. Pray to the warp and all its many gods. Yig, Ilgigagish, all the other made-up names. Good Goombal Glob, good Torble Tram.
Hang on.
Spankler.
Cthulhu. And, can I roll a perception just while
Venkman.
Just how close everyone is?
Yeah.
I got a 9.
Red sand all around. You don't see a whole lot. You can sort of see the red and purple and blue flashing lights and hear the siren of the ship, the O.P.P. ships. But other than that, not a whole lot. Now, the ships are close enough now that you guys can hear the siren. It's not just the transmission. Before, all you could hear was the transmission through Zaoshan's speakers. Now you can hear the siren. They're so close. So they're going to try, before they move in any closer, are going to try their burst blasters. And once again, warn you to stop. They've got some standard issue conglomerate burst blasters. Each going to fire once. A 14, a 21, and a 21 versus Zaoshan's AC.
That's 2 hits.
6 and 5, so 11 damage from those burst blasters. They'll announce that those, of course, over the last few years now, that those were warning shots, and then to land your ship now, they'll be forced to take affirmative action. They're about to move into close range if these warning shots don't work. This is your last warning before they move into close range and take you down, allegedly.
Alright, I'm gonna cut the transmission entirely so nobody will hear them, including myself.
Alright, do you leave the alarm blaring, though?
No.
Alarm off. Lights flashing still?
No.
Everything seems calmer on the ship now all of a sudden.
There's still, a red tint to some of the lights. We're still in a high alert condition. Available hands should be at stations, if at all possible.
But it's not a panic.
Yeah. Okay, so I figure since Zadok can fire his starboard cannon, that I can take control of it while he doesn't use it.
Please do.
So I'm going to fire the magic fanged starboard cannon.
+1.
+1? Alright, cool. So that is 22?
No.
CC?
That's a hit.
6 total with the +1.
That ship takes some damage. Then Nikali.
I'll be frustrated. I'll hold my action again until they come into range.
Alright, you're just waiting for it. You get 2 hits if they come into range. Moko?
So if Zalshan got hurt, can I heal him?
You have a heal spell of some sort?
Great though, right?
In that case, can I do Cure Light?
Yeah, you can cast Cure Light on your good friend and ship, the Zaoshan.
What else to do?
Rub your hands on it and give us some of that good Shinko Oharan love energy.
Oh, great! I can get 1 whole health point back.
You get 1 HP from your good friend
I
Tomoko.
really need
Every little
That's
bit
one
helps.
more than I had. I will use my Swift to grab the weird little pitcher plant thing next to me and shove a shield extract down its plant throat. +4 to the ship's AC. And then,
fuck.
Oh, damn.
Old high enough that that will work.
Yes.
Damn.
and then I'm going to roll another fly check to start doing some Mos Eisley fucking pod risk shit. Try to get down to I got a 13 on my fly check.
I don't know if that'll help you as much to evade attacks.
I've done enough.
I'm going to shoot another ship, or the same ship. That ship has annoyed me by not being destroyed. 23.
23 on the port side is a hit on one of those guys that are moving in towards close range.
4.
4 damage.
Covered in vines, I guess, and glowing green light, which was fucking badass. It's my Star Wars fan fiction fantasy. I got a 17.
Once again, just narrowly a miss. It's almost cool.
Just wait until I can finally hit people with my sword.
I'll roll. I'll see what I can do. Yeah, I got it.
Miss. The problem is you keep like pulling up, hoping you'll like help steer the ship up towards space. You sort of like fire like higher than you should. You're, like leaning. You keep looking at the stars.
If the heroes landed every laser shot that they do, then space battles in movies would be super short. So.
If the bad guys landed any of them, it would be different also.
Yeah.
So.
Star Wars would have never happened.
O.P.P. ships are going to move into close range and try to use their hull bleacher blades to breach your hull, which will cause major damage and force you to not be able to leave the atmosphere for fear of sucking all the oxygen out of your ship. Plus, they'll be like jammed inside of your ship and they can drive you to the ground. And they have 2 of these blades on each ship, so I get 6 rolls right now. 6 plus 2, so 8 for his left breacher blade, 10 for his right breacher blade. It's got 2 blades that are like the front, that are part of its wings. It's now stuck itself to you. It's going to try to ram you towards the ground so you wouldn't land. This is one of their more aggressive tactics to take down ships. And now the next ship gets to try.
Fuck!
That'll be a 28 on a natural 1. So he's going to hit you one time and like spin off. That'll be 6 damage. And the third one, I got an 18 and a 29.
That's only 1 hit.
Okay, so one of them, the right blade got into that final ship. Equals to it's 10 damage from that right blade, though. So I'll roll the grapple for those 2 to see if they stick or not. So 23 and a 27. The first one that had 2 blades in you gets 2 blades in you, then peels off. But the one that had 1 blade in you still has 1 blade stuck in you at this point, and it's your turn, Zaoshan.
Well, fuck. Can I aim with the other bow-mounted combo?
Oh, they're close. They're definitely close enough for that now. They're all in close range, so for sure.
Right.
Go for it. That's a B plus strength.
And I rolled a 20.
Oh, that's a hit.
Alright, let's do this shit. I did 18 damage.
Oh, that's more like it. That's the maximum damage for a level 1 creature right there. That knocks that one down pretty far.
I'm totally going to attack.
Try to replicate what the ship just did.
I rolled a 24 on the second one. That's a 13. 13 damage.
So, can I do one of those things that he just did? Or am I too far away?
You're not on that weapon. You're on a different weapon, but you can still attack. You're on the BAB plus Dex weapon, but you can still use it to do that.
Well, that's a bad weapon for
Does you have bad Dex?
Yeah.
Do you have better strength?
I got bad everything.
Oh, then all you can do is try.
Oh.
Mend, then?
You can cast mend, seal holes and stuff like
yeah,
that.
what about the hole where the thing...
You can help seal the holes where things
we're gonna
were.
need to go out
Yes. And will help mend holes where things were. It'll close the holes. It won't do any HP repair for your friend, but it will help mend some holes. Not all of them, though, because there was a bunch. You can mend a
Start
hole.
on mending the hole.
Tomoko will mend the closest hole. You have 6 seconds. You close as many holes as you can in 6 seconds.
I've had 2 rounds of really good fly checks. Can you tell me how close I am to the ground or these ruins that I was making my way toward, or our way towards?
When you've been bobbing up and down, and you've been heading that direction, you have been flying correctly towards the ruins. The factory was pretty far out there. You guys are moving at a high speed?
Personally, I would like to be in a place where the air is not so clear, so I would want to drop down 1 atmo.
You want to fly towards some pollution?
And continue to head towards the ruin. I got a 5.
You're at the edge of the atmosphere still.
Well, then I will shove my potion of light healing down the pitcher plant next to me. You get a whopping 4 hit points back. Yay.
It's 4 more than I had.
Going to shoot again. I rolled a natural 1.
Oh.
And weird.
That's going to backfire on you then, so now let's roll that 1d6 damage on yourself. As the console in front of you just explodes, probably from that recent damage.
2.
You take 2 damage from just sparks flying off the console.
I'm thinking of like Star Trek whenever like the console starts sparking off.
Everything shakes. They tilt the camera and everyone leans a certain way.
Before I automatically fire, is there any one of those barbs that hit us? Is any one of them pierced like into where we are and is like grappled onto it?
There are 2, but they're both back where Nakali is, so they're kind of far away from you, and they can only be removed from the outside of the ship.
Oh, okay.
So you have to land to take them out.
Cool ideas, just fucking go up there and slash it.
You could, like I said, you could like go outside and climb around the ship, but like the ship's flying around pretty fast and stuff.
I will get my little cool dude head. I'll just try to shoot again. I'm a little tiny dude. That's a lot of wind resistance.
Yeah, fly right off.
I got a 19.
19's enough for a reflex save for me. I only rolled a 10, so I'll take full damage on that one. 6 damage on the port side.
Do I know that is there like lights coming up? The ship's been hit? Do I know that there's been...
When those ships hit, you probably saw evidence of like that sucking for Zhaoshan. It wasn't in common, like there were no words you understood, but there was like probably lots of red lights and like loud noises when it happened. Correct, Zhaoshan?
Yep.
Yeah, see?
Alright, cool. Well,
Tomoko,
can I just ask for like a quick status update from Zhaoshan? Be like, what can I do to help?
Zhaoshan replies in Shin Kalahar and healing.
But you don't understand.
Can I yell that as a free action?
Alright.
Tomoko translates.
Well, I can turn any of my level 1 spells into a Cure Light Wounds, so I'll cast a Cure Light Wounds onto Zhaoshan.
Oh, you zealots. Let me roll because you're not in space to see if it works. I rolled high. This dice is loving you guys, so yeah, this is working for you.
Alright.
The space gods are on your side.
D8 plus 1. 8. I mean, like, should I go outside? Like, do you need assistance?
There's no magnetic boots on board. If you go outside, you will be sucked off the hull, and you will die. This is all Shin Kalahar.
There's like an X. There's an X mark, and then there's like Shin Kalahar sounds like wild, like fox barking. So it's just like growling noises and yowling that are very incomprehensible. This fox, it's making fox noises at you. Now back to your enemies that are going to try to ram you again. Get their blades back in there. It's going to be a 15, a 16.
No.
So one ship tries to hit you, but it just peels off the side. Second ship gets a 29 and a 17.
1 hit.
Its left blade gets in there. That'd be 7 damage. It tries to grapple you. I'm sorry, a 16. Third ship, 20, not natural, and a 16.
2 misses.
So with that +4, that helped out a lot. You just took a little bit of damage that time. There's only 1 blade in your hull, but it pulled right back out because it didn't grapple you. So it just did some definite big hull damage. It's gonna take some rest to heal from for sure. Now to you, Zhaoshan.
Stern Convo.
Go combo. Close enough for that.
Unnatural 20.
That's a hit.
9 damage.
And after Zhaoshan goes Nakali, also back there on the stern. So once again, the wheel grabbed itself and did a blade swipe with this laser weapon on its own. And then as soon as it did, once again came loose, and you're able to grab it and swing on your own, Nakali.
I'm starting to understand that a ship being alive its own weapon. I'm like, alright, now it's my turn. 23!
That's a hit with your big, strong Jaguar arms and your tiny
big,
chair.
strong man.
That is a 12.
That one ship on the starboard's really getting beat up.
On the starboard, it goes uptown, damn.
It's pretty close. Yeah, it's sparking. It looks pretty bent up and beat up out of shape. Like I said, these OPP ships are made pretty cheaply. It looks like this ship on the starboard's pretty close to its end of life, and they'll have to reorder another one. It's fine. They can just print them like out of plastic or whatever.
Gaining its self-awareness.
After Nakali comes Tomoko.
Okay, well then I'll do a cure.
Give us more of that Shin Kalahar and good love energy.
2! Alright.
2 healing for...
What?
Ship.
little pie graph on the center of every console.
Like
Not
how
in the
good you're
center,
doing.
like in the corner of every console. That's just a little over halfway now.
I'll do another climb check to drop one ammo. And then can I ready action of barrel roll when we get attacked?
That's your move action, but you could ready a standard for a barrel roll.
Yeah, well...
Since you're forfeiting your standard, I would still allow it, yes.
I got a 16 on my climb.
Does that take you down or up one level? You're trying to go down a level, right? You go down one level with a 16. So you're now lower atmosphere. Still heading towards some ruins.
Honestly, I am going to get up from my seat, walk over to the pilot's chair, and toss Dr. Paracelsus out.
Oh my god!
I'm going to fly now.
I'll allow that. I'll allow a CMB versus CMD. So what was your CMB, Argyle?
20.
20 not natural.
You are able to grab me, but...
Alright, so you've been able to grab Dr. Paracelsus. Now roll a strength check to pick him up out of his seat, though. What's your weight, Dr. Paracelsus? Would you imagine?
140.
So you have to beat a 14 strength check.
I got an 18.
Alright, so you're able to, like, pick him up. So you just, like, pick him up and take him out of the chair. You may sit him down. You could sit him down however gently you like, but he's no longer in the chair. You tell me how gently you want to set him down.
Scream, I wasted half of my turn to sit in this chair.
Turns don't exist in real life, so...
So I'm going to set him down relatively gently, and then take my seat in the pilot's chair.
You just want to try it out. I get it.
Exactly.
You just ruined the entire, like, barrel roll thing that would keep us from getting attacked the next round. You did with it. I'm
You
excited
can
to see
tell
what
me to do a barrel roll,
Yeah.
or you can try and throw me out of the chair.
Turns over, dude. Yeah, so first off I say, not cool, man, above my shoulder.
Casplix knows what's cool and what's not cool. He's an arbiter
That's
of
right.
the coolness.
I'm learning really quickly about the principles of cool. Plus, you know, Dr. P and I.
You guys have a relationship. Yeah, you guys are cool.
Each other at least a little while now.
At least once.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least one time.
You guys at least seemed cool.
That's enough for me. Try to shoot again until we actually get down to the ruins where we're flipping and flopping and zipping and zopping. I got an 11.
That's a miss. But you're having a good time.
Can I try to find one of these strength-based guns? One of those,
Yeah, there's only one. The problem is there's only one of those in the back of the ship. There's two on the front. So if these guys were hitting you from the front, it'd be perfect. But there's only one in the back, and Akali's already in that seat.
Alright, well, I guess I'd probably go around and keep on trying to fix men whole.
Well, I mean, the precedent has already been set to remove people from their seats, so, I mean...
You can if you think you can lift up Nakali. Nakali's a little bit bigger to lift up, though, would be the only thing I would say. He's a heavier guy. How much do you weigh, Nakali?
He weighs 500 pounds.
Yeah, so that's a big roll to make, is all I would say.
A little over pay grade in the literal sense. Yeah, I think I probably just want to go... Can I go mend some
You can
more?
get up and mend some stuff. If you have mending power, your power comes from space, so I have to roll and see if it works. Oh, I rolled too low, so this time your mending power will not work. But you're trying. You're like trying to mend things, but holes aren't fixing themselves.
Can't win them all.
No, you can only win a percentage of them. That's the thing with percentage rolls. Then back to your enemies. We're all going to try to ram you again, because that's their move right now. You got a 20 not natural and a 26.
One of them hit.
And one hit. That's 7 damage. Second one's only a 13 and a 13, so no hits on the second one. Just like brushes up against the bottom of you, but doesn't do any damage. Third one's a 23 and a 21.
One hit.
10 damage though on that one hit. We'll see if either one of those gets to grapple you. I rolled too low for both. My highest was a 15 CMB. I believe it's lower than, yeah. So neither one was able to grapple you this turn, but they did some more hull damage. So you guys are now hearing like the wind whooshing into the ship. Like you're hearing the holes that are made are bad enough that you guys should not go into space. Like you can hear the air entering the ship. Like I said, Zhao Shan can heal, but it's going to take some time, so this might just keep you guys stuck on Addis for a minute.
Cure light wounds on myself. Blue, 8 health.
Zhao Shan heals itself, then Nakali.
Added a miss.
Nakali misses in the back, swinging that energy lance around.
Mending.
Oko tries to mend. Dr. P.
I will say, don't ever touch me again. Ask nicely, and then I will assume the gunner position.
And of course, you'll say it in a very raspy, wheezy voice. Yeah. And then you fire away on that pachinko cannon. Roll me a BB plus dex to use that guy.
22.
That's a hit on that pachinko cannon. So you're going to do 1d6 damage.
That's 3.
3 on the port side.
Man, I wish I was.
The starboard side one is about to go, but that was just on the wrong side. And it goes back to Argyle, who's piloting the ship now.
I think I am going to head
To a mountain.
I'm gonna turn the ship around.
Go back towards the factory. Do like a flip the script on him.
Well, yeah.
Like Duke's Hazard move. Like hit the brakes and then like let him go past you and then like go the other. Then hit reverse.
Okay, well if I can do it, then I want to drive in reverse.
All right, you drive. You can't see where you're going. You hit reverse. Roll me a fly check to drive in
You
reverse.
better know what the fuck you're doing, bro.
As long as there's nothing behind you, you're good. There is something behind you, but
Well, I guess it'll get me closer to these assholes to
Yeah.
shoot, I guess.
26.
all right, yeah, you flip it in reverse. So you guys are like flying forward at that
You put that thing down.
Zalfshot's highest speed, then you like spin out a little bit, and then you just like flip it. You go back. The ship's going backwards, so everyone's still facing the same direction. The ship's flying in the opposite direction. What a wild ride!
Backwards time. That's what time.
Test Blix,
That's not.
just barely a miss. And then Zadok, old man Zadok.
15 is so.
Very cool. Well, I'll hop on one of those drink guns.
The only one open is on the bow, which there's no one in front of you guys. Unless you want to take Macaulay out of his seat.
Are we?
Good call.
I'll hop on a front gun.
You are going reverse. You can probably hop on one of the bow-loaded ones and hit a guy. That's a good call.
Yeah. I'll get pick up.
As you guys are flying backwards, just swing a bow-loaded lance at one of these guys as you go backwards past them.
5.
Oh yeah, you miss them. You swing it. Wide miss. So you guys are driving backwards, they're driving forward. So now they're like coming towards the front of the ship, changing which weapons may affect them. But coming at you hard and coming at you fast, they're gonna still try and close range hull breacher blade you to smash and scratch you. Got a 12 and a natural 20, which is a 30. My first guy. So that right blade, which is 9 damage. Luckily for you, I dropped it, so I have to re-roll. So I only rolled a 12 CMB. So it just cuts you and does not grapple you. I got a 26 and a natural 20, which is a 30 on the next one.
God damn it.
That's 13 damage and 7 damage, so 20 total. And I rolled a 16 plus 8, which is a 22 CMB. Alright, so you have your reflex save to try and pull out of that one.
22.
That'll be successful to pull out, so they're not grappling you. Third ship, I got an 18 and a 25.
One hit.
10 more damage, but my grapple was only a 17.
All the lights are pretty much flashing red.
Yeah, your living metal is torn.
And I'm going to do a cure light wounds. I healed 12 damage.
Macaulay,
19.
I got a reflex save on that. Should I succeed? So I'll take half damage on your hit.
That is 11.
I'll go 6. I'm nice. You're the one guy in the middle that doesn't get hit very much.
Mending.
All right, Tomoko tries to mend. Dr. Paracelsius.
I guess I will fire off with the cannon that I'm on. 15.
Miss, unfortunately. Pilot this ship.
I am going to reverse direction again.
Go forward. Double reverse. It's like when Uno and you play double reverse cards and it goes back the way it started. So you go forward. You slam on the brakes, go backwards, and then forward again. Roll me a fly check to go forward again.
20, not natural.
You successfully go forward.
Hell yeah.
No problems. This is where we
I
are.
fucking shoot those motherfuckers, man. I got a 19.
I get a reflex save, but that should be a hit. I succeeded my reflex save. I believe that should be a 22. But that should be higher. That should be high enough. So I'll take half damage.
Whatever. 4, so you get 2.
Zadok.
We're going double backwards, forwards, right?
Yeah, you're going double backwards, which is forwards. Correct.
Are they still behind us?
Like when you multiply 2 negative numbers.
They were quick. So like when you guys went backwards, they went around and they were facing this way, coming at you, and then you guys went forward again. So like this is basically you guys are just passing each other again. So like right by you. Yeah, you're passing. Yeah, you can definitely do an attack while you're passing.
Alright, going for it. And I got a 17 plus 3, so a natural 20.
That'll hit.
Yay!
That's a 6.
Condos.
I got 6 plus 9.
So 9 total.
Yeah.
Yay!
So you hit the guy in the middle. Could be taken out a notch. He hasn't been hit that much. So that was a good move.
Fucking middle guy.
It's their turn again. So they're gonna try and once again jab you with those whole breacher blades. 19 and an 18.
Misses.
A 14 and a 29.
One hit.
The right blade comes at you from the center ship. It's 10 damage. 22 and a 23 from the third ship.
Oh, it's one hit.
It's 10 more damage. Neither one's able to grapple you, so they both like just hit you and peel off again. They're just like shaving off bits of your ship, living steel, which to you is like skin. Like they're just cutting away layers of your skin.
I am unconscious.
All right, so the ship starts like falling towards the ground. The lights go black as you guys plummet. All controls seem dead.
I'm out of spells. Besides mending, I can bend the shit out of poles.
What? I am so fucking screwed. And then he tries to strap him in into the chair.
So like grab some vines and like try to tie vines on yourself and shit.
Yeah, he tied himself in. He's like, I've been in crashes before. I've done it before.
We can launch man and quack this shit. You could survive.
I was like, this is the best opportunity way to survive. The good thing is I'm on the outside of the ship. It should be better. Wow.
Fingers crossed. Tomoko, it's your turn now. You see that Zhaoshan has gone silent, black.
Stabilize and virtue.
You can do stabilize, which would put the Zhaoshan at exactly 0 if anything different. Alright, Tomoko stabilizes you with the power and the magic of the Wardens of Shin Kalaharan. Holds out her hands and gives you the greatest love. That'll put you at exactly 0 HP, but your lights are still out, the ship's still plummeting to the ground, all weapons are still inoperable, everything on the ship's still inoperable, all stasis pods are now just beds.
Alrighty. Any way that I can try to do some weird I have engineering as a skill, and I would like to maybe find some way to like patch something from take life support off and put it back into our engines kind of thing.
Yeah, you can roll an engineering check to see if you can figure something out. You're a technomancer in training, so if you want to roll that, I would allow an engineering check to see if you can figure something else, how to power the ship.
Right, so I want to roll the engineering, but while I'm messing with the vines and moving things away in different plugs, I'm going to make sure that I slice my hands and they're bleeding on the vine.
We get extra DNA in there. I dig. Yeah.
Or a little bit of the actual life.
Demon energy. You want to get some magic in there. Trying as hard as possible to get some evil.
Not really evil, but that's a 14 engineering.
Alright, so there's not a whole lot you can do from here. You know, if you were going to reawaken the ship, it would take those Kesho crystals that are powering the ship, wherever that, which is not here in the bridge. You have to leave this part of the ship and find out where the Kesho engine of the ship is, where the Kesho crystals are powering the engine. You might be able to drain a crystal to give the ship hit points or something like that, empty out a crystal and give the ship temporary hit points.
Can I still use my move, head down away from the bridge, and maybe
What was your engineering total?
14.
It's not going to tell you a lot, but you need to leave this room to find the engine room. So you can go searching for the engine room on this turn. Yeah, I'll let you get up and go looking for the engine room to see if you can stop something, to figure something out before this ship hits the ground, for sure.
Yeah, if we have a couple of rounds, I might as well...
You have some time for the ship hits the ground. You have at least 3 rounds for the ship hits the ground.
Use, Arcana, Magic Buys to find crystals to help.
Yeah, you can do all kinds of stuff. So any of those things might work in your next couple turns. Now you'll just go off that direction, trying to find a different room where the engine... You're going to start opening doors. And the thing's labeled in Shin Kalaharan so you can't read it, but you're going to start, looking for the engine room.
Yeah, but I'm also, bleeding everywhere. I've got, I should probably
bloody handprints all over the ship. You're leaving a trail everywhere you go. It's obvious Dr. P was here. Argyle.
I am going to stand on the pilot's console and flap my wings as hard as I can while remaining attached.
You want to do that thing when the elevator's going down? If you can just fly just enough you won't take any damage? Roll me a fly check to feather fall yourself.
20.
Oh, so yeah, you're doing that perfect medium fly where you're in that empty space of the ship, so if it does hit the ground, you won't take any damage. You're protected, even if no one else is. You are fine.
Oh, you know what? I retract into my shell.
Survival check maybe or something, unless you got something else?
I got a 13.
Alright, so I'll let you take a +1 to your reflex save if this ship hits the ground.
I got a 15 plus 6, so 21. To figure out what I should do to help to heal the ship.
Oh, do you have heal magic? I mean, it is both a plant and a stone.
Yeah.
So, healing it would take those similar type of thing. Time. Time is the only thing that heals. Unless you have magic, just time. But if you have healing spells, as you've witnessed before, can help it.
Out of those, I have mending, knowledge, and engineering while I'm here. 13. I got an 18.
You'll probably know about the same thing Dr. Paracelsus does, is wherever the batteries in this ship, you see Dr. Paracelsus running down the hall. He's probably thinking the same thing you are. If you can find the engine room and restart the engine with some sort of if there's some sort of power source in the ship, you might have to drain some power. But if you can do that and restart the engine, you might hit the ground, at least.
I follow that guy.
Yeah, you follow that guy. He looks smart. He looks like a science guy.
I like his mask.
Alright, you run after him, and if you can help him out, that'll be wonderful. And then comes the bad guys, who are no longer going to try to breach your hull at least, but are going to be within medium range of you as you fall to the ground. The ship is unable to make a reflex save, so it will just toss out some more of those tracking darts. I do 18 damage of piercing darts.
Yeah, that's it.
What the fuck?
But you were at 0.
Yeah, so I'm at negative 18.
Which is enough to kill your constitution. So does someone have a hero point, anti-hero point to save the Zhaoshan?
I have an anti-hero point.
You're flying above the flight console, doing the controls. It's not enough because the ship's off. You don't have full control, but it's when the power steering goes out in a truck and the steering wheel's really hard to turn. You know what I'm talking about? It's like that. Yeah. So the steering wheel is hard to turn, but you're holding onto it while you fly up. So it pulls the ship slightly up, just enough to miss all these darts that come whizzing by.
Nice.
You got anything to Kali back at your stern-loaded Convo Energy Lance?
The only thing that Nikali would have that is useful in this scenario is that he is, because of his former career, he is kind of trained for high intensity drops and impact.
So you want to go ahead and get into like a roll position so you can like roll out of whatever's about to happen?
Yeah, essentially, he's like, the best way.
You're ready to take damage. Alright, you brace yourself.
He doesn't know how to repair a ship, and he's not being able to shoot anything.
Tomoko.
Also, I don't think there's anything I can do besides mend.
Not a man to virtue.
No virtue.
Do
You're
it.
going to stabilize it to get him to 0, then if you virtue, it takes him to +1, which is like jump-starting the car.
I will cast Virtue.
Alright, virtue is cast. The ship gets 1 hit point, so you can't do anything to your next turn, unfortunately, Zhao Shan. It's Dr. P's turn, but the ship does, at this point in time, the lights do come back on, they're dim. It's like that low power, like when your battery's got 1%, you can tell the ship's at 1% battery, but the ship does come back on. And now it's Dr. P's turn.
Have I found engineering? Basically, I want to get there and try to do another little bypass to give us a little extra boost.
If you're moving your top speed, I'll let you do this turn if you want to find the engine room. Especially because the ship just come back on, so like very dim lights might lead you this way if Zhao Shan would like that.
I've got dark vision. I don't.
Yeah. You can look around and try to open doors. When the ship's back on, the ship can help you find engineering if it would like.
Sure.
Yeah, engine room is, the path is lit dimly as possible, but it's lit.
I will go to there.
You're able to rush there at your highest speed. You'll arrive on this turn, but not be able to do anything yet, but you'll be in the engine room at the end of this turn.
So I recline, I go back to sitting in the chair, now that the lights are back on, and I ask Zhao Shan to open a channel, or open communication with the enemy ship.
Alright.
Green lights
And
seem to indicate
tell
that
them-
happened.
I tell them my conglomerate ID, and that I have taken over the ship, and that I am prepared to obey their lawful order to land, and for them to quit attacking.
Alright, diplomacy.
17.
The O.P.P. acknowledge, confirm your conglomerate ID, they confirm that you're a conglomerate property and the ship is conglomerate property, that everyone else inside will be taken prisoner once you land, but if you follow orders and land, everyone complies and is willing to be taken prisoner. Once you land, there should be no problems at all.
I lock out all of the gun consoles. They all turn red. I lock out the pilot console as well.
But Zhao Shan, you're locking us out of pretty much everything, so like I won't be able to do anything in engineering, perhaps. I would
I
say.
know what I'm about. I'm going to roll a bluff check.
I love robots
all
that can
engines
bluff.
have guttered out, and to begin a semi-controlled fall to the surface of the planet.
Okay, roll me a bluff check instead of sleight of hand if it's a bluff, not a feint.
I rolled a 27 to bluff.
You're sinking, they're falling you down slowly at a safe distance.
I will unlock the consoles, but I'm going to fire at the ground with the Conbo Lance to simulate an explosion. That's a 19 versus sand.
That's not to hit the ground, no problem.
So in the hole created by the Lance, I would like to bury myself.
Alright, so the intense heat doesn't create a hole as much as it creates harder sand, like glass-like crystals. It just heats the sand-like element. It's not even the sand, it's more like a silicon sand. It's very fine dust, but it just hardens it with heat. This makes it harder for you to dive through. But if you have burrow or something like that, then that would help you dive through it. Otherwise, then no.
Well, it should create a large cloud anyway that gives us a
It definitely, yeah, it could create an obscuring cloud of some sort. I wouldn't doubt that. And you're pretty large, and your combo lance could create some heat and some energy on the ground, but not enough to like create enough energy to make it look like a ship the size of a house is vanished, or like it's not going to make it look like your ship disappeared just by you shooting a hole in the ground with one of your lasers. Especially not from AI who are using more than perception to see you. They're using sensors like you use. So as long as you have living beings aboard your ship, they know you're there.
Either way, worst comes to worst, I think a fight on the ground is going to be easier to win than a fight in the air.
Ship touches down in the sand is 2 well-damaged ships and 1 ship that is obviously about to be destroyed. Like one ship, if it had any people inside of it, those people are now dead. A wrecked mess, and only because the AI inside of it survived is even landing. The other 2 are like hovering next to you as you land in the sand. You can feel the grapple field wrap around you, Zhao Shan, from 2 of the ships. One of the ships starts off back towards the factory warehouse where you guys stole the ship from, probably to help deal with the people that are still there, sensing this must be under control. Only 2 ships now kind of like holding you. They're smaller ships though, so you can tell it's taking both of them to drag you. But they have you in a tractor beam now, and they're able to drag you very slowly through the dirt, and they still have open communication with Gargyle, who they believe is in control.
They appear to be dragging me somewhere.
They seem to be dragging you back towards City 16, the big Etesian city in the desert away from the factories and warehouses.
Can I cast Entangle Angle?
There's not enough plant life in the sand around you. You can cast Entangle from yourself. Vines grow out of yourself and grab things that are close enough to you.
Yeah, let's do it.
You might be able to use it to like sort of try to Velcro yourself to the ground in sort of a way, like make yourself harder to drag.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll let you do that. I'll let you use the Entangle to slow the
Kind
drag.
of like bristly vines then, all over the surface.
Yeah, so you're like just dragging vines behind you now, and it's creating some friction, slowing the drag down. Dr. P, you're probably in the most advantageous position in the engine room. See the Kesho crystals there? Some of them still have their faint iridescent glow. There's a lot of ones that seem like they've been drained, but there's still some there that are lit up. You see some colorful stones and crystals that are like a control panel, basically like everywhere else on the ship. Somewhat similar to some engine rooms, but also somewhat alien and strange.
Alright, well, let's see if I can roll perhaps a knowledge engineering check to try to get some of the systems back up and running on the ship. Oh, that's a natural one.
Vines and rocks and stuff, like the configuration seems familiar like an engine room, and obviously the Kesho crystals are the power, and you've heard of Kesho crystal power, but that's sort of a newer source of power, so you're not super familiar with it, and these just seem to be connected with the vines. They're not even connected to any kind of machine. So it might take a little bit more than your normal understanding to figure out, but you're in the engine room, and you see the power source, but you don't know what to do.
Okay, so my profession, gardener. So I'm proficient at gardening. Is there any way that I
Sounds like you're not
can
sure what
try
gardening
to
is.
figure out this alongside my pal Dr. P?
You're not in the engine room, but you can run that way and try to find it if you want.
Yeah, let's try. I don't think I have anything else that can help.
Alright, you'll follow Zadok and Dr. P
There's
back
no
towards
one
the
for me to
engine room.
slice yet.
I think there was some morning lights still leading you that direction, so you guys can find it. There's still a transmission coming in from the two ships that are dragging you. The AI on board will identify you as a Gorgolian Model 6, ID number 630763-M0073. If you just be sure to detain the crew and make sure that the ship doesn't try to escape, you're pretty much in charge of making sure nothing bad happens while they're towing it, and that'll be reflected on your record, 630763M0073.
So I'm going to create a feeble hologram of myself, a holographic avatar in front of Argyle Gargyle, make choking noises, and flashing across the throat noises, hand signals.
And noises.
So Argar is going to ignore that completely. He doesn't understand what the gurgling and the moving across the neck means. Is it an interpretive dance? But he acknowledges the report, or acknowledges the command, and closes the channel, or says close the channel to Zapshan.
Yeah, I'll close that channel.
Alright, channel goes red. No more ingoing or outgoing communications. You guys are being dragged through the red silicate-like sands of Addis towards the city.
My final action is going to be sit pilot seat and make pew-pew laser noises.
I'm gonna go find intelligent people of said party and see what they can do.
So as you're walking back from the back of the ship, you'll pass the engine room as Kesblix is running towards it, and you'll see Zadok, having heard the alarms from the O.P.P. and the newest incoming transmission, was following Dr. P towards the engine room, but since then is darted off, and you can see he's trying to hide in the vine somewhere now. A lot of the crew members, especially from Garen Cater's crew, are all hidden now. Dealt with O.P.P. before, they know it's best just to try to hide out rather than try to deal with them. Dr. P is headed into that engine room. You're gonna either head past the engine room and past Kesblix, or you can also head into the engine room. It's your choice, Nikali. Or you can head to the bridge.
I'm gonna stay outside the engine room. I don't want to crowd it up.
You are a big guy.
I will look in to see what's going on and be like, is there anything I can do to help you guys?
Have any knowledge of engineering or biosynthetic operations in a ship such as this?
No, I do not.
Alright, well, stand guard in that case. How about that?
I'll keep you guys protected. Okay.
Alright, you'll protect the engine room. No one's getting in without getting past Nikali.
Heck
Wait, I know how to fly the ship. I'm gonna ask Zaoshan how he feels and if he needs help still, what he thinks we should do.
I think we have to delay our return to their city for as long as possible. So perhaps we should reignite the engines and thrust a little bit in the opposite direction until we can surprise at least one of them with full attack.
You'll know that the two ships that are towing, one of them was very severely damaged in your last battle. Only one of them is very strong, the other one's very, very badly damaged.
If we can buy ourselves time,
Why
I'll
don't we
say,
kill the other
grunting
ship?
and chirping and whatnot, then perhaps we might be able to regain some of our defenses, fortify myself, do a surprise attack, like a predator letting themselves be trapped so that they might overcome the hunter.
Should I do more healing spells in that case?
Yes.
Cure light, as good as I can do, I think.
It's not gonna hurt.
1.
Oh, then
And then, but it's a 1 plus 1. So
2 more hit points for Zhao Shan.
I need new dice.
I will use a mutagen to increase my intelligence, and then try another engineering check. That is a 20, but not natural.
With that boost of your mutagen and another looking at the system, you're able to see how the vines are like wires and the glowing crystals are like buttons and configurations, and maybe even a hologram of Zhao Shan will come and start pointing at things to help you if Zhao Shan so chooses. With a minor assist from Zhao Shan with your 20, you'll be able to unload a total crystal. If you drain the charges of it, will give 10 temporary hit points to Zhao Shan. But you'll have 1 less crystal to go on. Zhao Shan can point to the buttons you need to press, and you can, every turn...
No, I'll manifest a hologram that looks like a cross between a Shin Kalahar and one of Dr. P's people. Like a suit and everything.
Try to draw like tubes.
I'll respond in galactic comment. Be like, you need to drain the crystals. We also need to get the engines online. I'd like to roll a knowledge geography check to see how long until we reach City 17 at our current speed. 19.
About 6 hours.
So I'll relay this information to Dr. P.
I will just pour one of my pure light extracts on the vines.
Sure, if you do that, a receptacle, a pitcher plant of something, a taproot of something will emerge to accept your potion.
Down here, it's just soil.
Just dump it in the ground in the engine room.
Get a 9 hit points without me messing with the crystals at all yet.
I'm at 11 hit points. Yay!
So, Kesblix, you're able to approach the engine room now. You're able to walk in as this is happening.
Well, the hologram will sort of dissolve and reform as a Kesblix-sized Shin Kalahar right in front of him.
Not much smaller, though. This is
Not
like a
much
foot or
smaller,
two, yeah. Just in samurai clothes now instead of the normal Shin Kalaharan outfit.
Well, we're in the atmosphere suit. I was just in.
You didn't mess with the crystals at all yet.
The hologram was like, hey, I need hit points. The only thing that we would be doing by wasting those crystals would be to give him 10 automatic hit points, but then we're down a crystal. I was able to do just as my standard without wasting a crystal. So I thought that was the most beneficial.
Yeah, I don't have anything that could...
I mean, at this point, if Zhao Shan has hit points, Zhao Shan's up and running. It can do whatever Zhao Shan's capable of doing.
Which is lots.
He's good to go, guys. Get back to your posts.
Let me get also a lay of the land. Like, we haven't started the engine yet, and we're being dragged on the sand floor away on the ground by 2 ships. 1 heavily damaged. What's the status of those, turrets and guns and stuff that we were using?
I think locked, last I heard.
Then I'll head to the nearest one. Maybe we can at least hit one of these guys and get one of these off of us, the one that has the lowest amount of health.
Nice.
I'm going to the lance that has the easiest access to said heavy damage one.
And they're dragging you guys from the front, so it's anyone in the front or sides.
Definitely go for the front
turn.
one. It'll say in common. These people have proven that they're trustworthy. They're still defending me, even though their lives are in danger.
Well, you're also our best last chance to get out of here, too, so.
That's what we call symbiosis in nature.
The pachinko cannons, are any of them damaged?
Not beyond use, no. It's mostly hull damage, not so much weapon damage. Like, there were some sparks that flew and stuff, but the weapons still all seem operational as long as Zhao Shan unlocks them again.
And I guess I'm going to ask Zhao Shan, what should I be doing other than sitting here making laser noises?
The hologram that's on the bridge will reform it into a gargoylean shape, still with a little fox head, of course. It'll be like almost like a little one, but in a costume. And it'll say, "Man, that side-loaded cannon. Thanks for my command."
I do just that.
Alright, you pop in a cannon seat.
Cannon,
One of
and
the-
I wait for the command.
You can still make pew-pew noises while you wait if you want.
Oh, I absolutely will.
I encourage them, as a matter of fact.
Alright, and then it goes from Argyle to Nikali.
Who's jetting for the frontal lance.
Get on Jaguar all fours and like Jaguar run to the front of the ship and hop in that front lance.
I'm not very good at shooting guns. Now, Sean, how do you want me to help you?
Hand him one of the guns. I believe in you.
I'll do it because you
Port or
believe in
starboard?
me. Port?
So you're next to Argyle Gargoyle.
That means left.
Well, it seems like things are going pretty well. I'll do an engineering to try to boost our shields. 22.
All of the shielding that this ship seems to have seems to be based on its actual hull strength, not on any sort of energy shield or anything like that. I mean, you could still use your turn to boost another 10 hit points if Zhao Shan wants it, but that's probably all you can do from the engine room.
Now, Sean, do you want me to do that?
Drain a crystal.
You drain it, bro.
Use magic device to drain it.
Take it to the head, bro.
At the 9.
You're unsuccessful in draining it this turn.
Fuck.
I am going to activate the engines and reverse against the pull. but I also instruct Argyle Gargyle to, should the conglomerate authorities respond, to say that we are experiencing randomized engine failure.
Well, at the time that you cut on your engines, a incoming transmission will automatically from the AI come across. So you can accept it or not, and let him hear it or not, and have him reply or not. But there is a transmission coming in as soon as your engines kick on and fight against the tractor beams.
So yes, I explained to him very clearly to say that we are experiencing randomized engine startage and stoppage, and I let him hear the transmissions coming through.
All right, transmissions asks what's going on.
While the transmission is on, I will be in my spot yelling, I don't understand! Why do we keep trying to get away?
The AI voice will come through. Model 6, Unit 630763M0073. What is the status? You're experiencing some resistance.
I am encountering some resistance. However, everything will be fine. Everything will be fine. Don't worry about it.
Bluff check, but you're bluffing to AI, so...
Yeah, what's the sense motive on AI?
It depends on the AI.
Roll 20.
Yeah, you're a gargoylian in service of the conglomerate. Even though you are a malfunctioning unit, you seem at this point in time to be obeying orders, so they're going to believe you for now. Obviously, it's causing their ships to struggle. There's some stoppage and startage. It's dragging slower than it was before.
Cool, I cut the transmission.
Alright, transmission goes red.
Quick knowledge astro check to see how long it'll take us to get there. Now at current speed, 25.
If you keep putting up this kind of resistance, I might add an extra 2 hours to your journey. 8 instead of 6.
Isn't 8 hours a full rest?
For anyone that can rest during that 8 hours, yeah.
Zhaoshan, can you sleep while...
Zhaoshan can sleep, but then Zhaoshan can't do the engine thing, and then it's only 6 hours. As a matter of fact, a lot of people that are hiding in your ship will probably now take this time to find stasis pods and hide in them. All of Garen, Kate, and his crew are all taking a nap while this is going down.
Oh, that's where they are.
Got little needle thorns in their neck making them pass out, or some kind of flower gas making them fall asleep.
Yeah, no, it's definitely the needle thorns for them at the moment.
The needle thorns.
Briars.
You guys have 8 hours to blow as you get dragged.
Why don't we try to shoot at least one of them down, and that'll cut our time, make it a lot longer if there's only one person driving.
Yeah, but once you start shooting, then the one that's still active is gonna basically
shoot back.
Win.
Leave that to me, says Zhao Shan.
Alright.
I just think that we should wait until we have some way of making Zhaoshan more combat effective.
I get that, but if we also wait, we will be, like, in their neck of the woods. We'll be on their battleground instead of out in the middle of nowhere, isolated with just 2 of them.
Solid point.
Increased aggression against conglomerate forces.
Man the battle stations. I don't know who's
The
Still.
colony is all for
Okay.
it.
gonna run to a turret.
Starboard Kess, starboard P, Port Tomoko, Port Argyle, Nakali is on the bow. And do you set the weapon systems to green again?
Oh, I've unlocked all the systems at this
All
point.
systems unlocked and go.
So
time to roll for initiative.
I got a 19.
19.
18.
I got
Over.
a 21.
They only got an 11, so yeah, you guys have the jump on these things.
Yeah. To attack the weaker of the two. That's a 7.
That's a miss. Now, of course, they're facing away from you, so you're like firing at their rears, gonna spin around to attack you, because all of their weapons are front mounted. But you missed that shot.
I rolled a 24.
Alright, and they are in close enough range for you to use those lances right now since they are grappling you with their tractor beams. And 24 is a hit.
I'll let the weaker one for sure.
Alright, that one spins out, hits the ground, crashes, burns. You see a couple like prisoner bodies spill out on fire.
Cheers. Collie stares up and he's very proud of himself. Like this, like arrogantly.
One ship down. After Nakali goes Kess.
Well, why stop there? I guess I'm just gonna shoot the strong one now. I'm already there. I got a 20.
That's just barely a hit, but a hit.
21, I guess, with my BAB. Natural 20.
Oh, that's definitely a hit.
Yeah.
And a crit then if it's natural 20. You'll do 2d6 damage.
1, 2.
3 total. A little tiny blast on an O.P.P ship. It's obviously hailing you now, but you probably aren't going to want to receive this transmission because it's just going to be telling you to stop firing on it.
Fantastic. I'd love to open a channel, please.
The O.P.P ship demands you stop firing on it.
I immediately copy the voice of Argyle Gargyle as best I can and say that we are experiencing a power cascade that is causing weapons to fire at random.
Bluff check.
That would be a 27.
So yeah, they're gonna leave your Argyle. You're gonna confuse the AI. I mean, it's probably still gonna fire at you if you continue to fire on it, but you definitely are confusing it in the moment.
Yeah, I'd like to increase the resistance that I'm putting against the grapple with My engines? I don't want to break it, per se, but I do want to struggle against it.
You might be able to pull it with a competing grapple check.
I'd like to fire the frontal lance.
Wow.
An unnatural 20.
Barely a hit, but a hit.
Oof.
As your lance blade slices at one of the wings of this O.P.P. ship.
Alright, I did 4 damage total. And of course, I cut the channel immediately with the O.P.P. ship.
Alright, channel's back to red, closed.
First, quizzically look at something at random. I'll look at it, say, how did you do that? And then I'm going to ignore whatever answer he has, fire the cannon.
Fire away, Pachinko cannon.
While questioning Zhao Shan about magical ability to mimic.
Zhao Shan responds, I am very talented.
I rolled an unnatural 20.
That's a hit just barely.
8.
8 damage.
Alright, I'll give it a try. Not good at this. So that's a 10 on trying to shoot a gun.
Miss. She had fun pushing the button, watching
Guess so.
lasers happen. And then we're on to our enemy who finally gets to fire. Spins around. He's going to drop his tractor beam, at which point you'll like thud sort of into the sand, a little bit like stutter into the sand as he drops the grapple on you, and fires his burst dagger. It's going to be a 30 to hit you, Zhao Shan, versus your AC. 4 damage.
Alright. Well, I guess I'm gonna try to fire off again. We don't need anyone to pilot the ship. Zaltron can do that himself, right?
Correct.
So in that case, I'll just fire again. 19.
Ooh, we got a reflex save, which I rolled a 14. Is that higher than your dex total?
You have to beat a 13, so yeah, you take half damage. D6, you take, roll a 4, you take 2.
Alright, hold on. Let me just roll that real quick. 22.
22's a hit.
13.
We still shoot? I'll shoot.
Don't you think you should be in this other chair, says Zhao Shan?
I get into whatever chair he's.
Alright, you hop over into a lance chair instead. That'll be your move for this turn, but you can still get an attack.
And that's for strength modifier.
That's a strength mod, yeah. BB plus
It
strength.
is.
6.
Swing and a miss, but it was fun to swing. This one, it's a little bit heavier of a wheel. It takes a little bit more muscle to wave the thing around. Less of a precise weapon and more of just like a blunt, forced, broad laser beam.
But when you roll that low,
Yeah, sometimes you just hop from one seat to another, so you had to get
Yeah.
your bearings real quick.
Use my main action to drain a Casio crystal.
But 10 more HP temporary added to your hit points.
I'm going to go to the chair that Cass Blake's vacated.
It was right next to yours.
That's alright though. He's wanted to switch seats, freshen it up. It looks fun over there.
Chairs at this point. And then I'm going to fire that cannon. 21.
That's a hit.
6 damage.
I mean, I guess we're shooting. I just want this
We're
to
giving
work
it
out
our all.
one time. I'm tired
You want
of
to borrow one of my dice?
rolling badly. Ooh!
Yeah.
That's a crit.
2. Nice. And 6. Okay.
8 total?
Yeah.
instead of going backwards, let's just slam forward and fucking crash into it with our extra HP and fucking love it.
It's gonna try to do that to you right now, actually. With its hull breacher blades flying straight towards you with its blades out. I only got a 14 versus your hull's AC, though.
That is a fucking miss.
Alright, let it scrape stuff aside. Doesn't do any damage, so it's like now it's right up against the side of your hull now. Port side.
This concludes our transmission. Please tune in next time for more Dungeon to the Stars. This episode of Long Distance Dungeons & Dragons Dinner Theater is sponsored by our fans and friends on Patreon. Donate today. Keep Long Distance Dungeons & Dragons Dinner Theater alive.